right, I am online. Okay. Online. Let's. All right. All right. That's good. Okay. I know what to do, I think. Got it. Okay. So, on that happy note, okay, let me get the guitar. It's actually funny. Good to see everybody. All right, I think we got everything going. Okay, today is Odyssey, but it's also the commemoration of the disappearance day of Narahari Sarkar Thakur. So because it is his disappearance day, I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to chant the prayers of the departed Vaishnavas. So the departed Vaishnava, not disappointed. And then we'll talk a little bit about him and then give class. So just one announcement, which I'll also make at the end, is tomorrow there won't be a class. And the reason is we have this Rath Yatra where I am going to be trying to play the guitar in the back of a pickup truck, which should be quite interesting, with a whole band. We have a whole band, a lead guitar player, a bass guitar player, and amplifiers and everything like that. And that's going to be in the Rath Yatra, which is going to be part of a parade which hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are going to be watching. So I'm sure someone will do a video of the whole thing, so you can see my debut. So anyway, so let's chant the prayers of the departed Vaishnavas first. Ye Anilo Premadana Korana Prachu Ye Anilo Premadana Korana Prachu Henu Prabhu Kota Gela Charya Baku Henu Prabhu Kota Gela Charya Baku Mora Matwaru Rupa Kahasanacha Kamora Sarupa Kahasanacha Kakadasura Gunapta Patita Pavan Kakadasura Gunapta Patita Pavan Kahamorabhayuga Kakagavira Kahamorabhayuga Kakagavira Ekakale go jagela gora natura Ekakale go jagela gora natura Pashane kutivo mata Anale Bashibo Pashane kutivo mata Anale Bashibo Go randa go there, go jagela habo. Sesa basangira sange, ye kola vilas. Say sabah sangira sange ye koi lo vilas say sangana paya kande naruto Say sangana paya kande naruto Jehanira Prematana Karuna Prachu Jaya Jaya Thakur Jaya Jaya Thakur Thakur Jaya Thakur Jaya Jaya Thakur Jaya Thakur Jaya Thakur Jaya Jaya Thakur Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvatakacharya All Scriptura Satashi Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nantakoti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Bharavo Nityananda Sidwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Gopinath Saim Kunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Mathuram Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Yamunamai Kajai, Shrimati Tulasi Devi Kajai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Kajai, Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Vijay Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Budale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyacha Teja Tarne Srila Prabhupada Vijay. So, let me read the translation of this poem. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who is filled with compassion and mercy, where is such a personality as Srinivasa Acharya God? Where am I Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where am I Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? Where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottama Das simply weeps. So, Narottama Das Thakur Ki Jai. So, as I mentioned before, today is the commemoration of the disappearance day of Narahari Saraka Thakur. And so, Narahari Saraka Thakur is a great associate of Lord Caitanya, and we're going to speak a few words about him, if that's all right, before we get to the Caitanya Bhagavat. So, here's the information about Narahari Saraka Thakur. So, Narahari Saraka Thakur is described by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who says that that Narahari Saraka Thakur was born in Srikhanda, and he was the 40th branch of the Caitanya Mahaprabhu tree. And he participated in most of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So he was in the mood of a Saki, whose name was Madhumati. That was his ontological position. And even he manifested that sometimes externally, such as when Lord Nityananda came to see him and said to Narahari, I know who you are. So where is the honey? So what that means is that Narahari Saraka Thakur's service as the Saki Madhumati was to bring honey to Radha and Govinda. Wow. So when Lord Nityananda said this to Narahari Saraka Thakur, Narahari Saraka Thakur went to a nearby pond, filled a pot with water, and the water immediately turned to honey. And the Lord Nityananda and his associates drank that honey, and they were in complete ecstasy. And a great devotee, Lochandas Thakur, was a disciple of Narahari Saraka Thakur. Lochandas Thakur says about his spiritual master, my Thakur is Sri Narahari Das Thakur, who was very influential amongst the medical caste. He was a doctor. He is continuously absorbed in Krishna Prem, and in fact, his body knows nothing but Krishna. To his followers, he speaks about nothing other than Krishna. He was previously known in Vrindavan as Madhumati, and the storehouse of sweetness and very dear to Radharani. Now he is present in Kali Yuga with Sri Gaura Sundara. He is the keeper of the storehouse of love of Radha and Krishna. Wow. And so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur memorializes Narahari Das Thakur, Narahari Saraka Das Thakur, in his famous Gaura Arti song, in which he talks about Narahari fanning Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with a yak tail fan. And Narahari Saraka Thakur was a poet, and he was expert in Sanskrit, had a Sanskrit work called the Bhajanamrita, and composed many, many songs about Shri Radha and Krishna. And he was the only devotee who had the right to do a Gora Kirtan, that means glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in front of Lord Chaitanya. Because generally, if someone praised Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was present, he would block his ears and say, Vishnu, Vishnu. So Narahari had the adhikar, or the privilege, of being able to sing to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental aspects. And so today we are commemorating his disappearance day. How about that? So, with that in mind, we are going to go to the Caitanya Bhagavat. And we've been reading about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's education and how he learned everything. The first time he heard something, he learned it expertly. He was able to defeat his guru's understandings of Shastra. And then, after defeating those understandings, he would actually defeat his defeat and show that the guru's understandings were proper. Amazing. Amazing. Of course, this is what you're taught in law school, too. So, Lord Chaitanya was an expert lawyer. So, with that in mind, we are going to read the Caitanya Bhagavat, where we left off. So, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So, Om Gana Timiranda Shah Gananjana Shalakya Chakshur Meditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And so now we will share the screen with you all. How about that? I am so merciful, I'm sharing things. Let me just pull up some other windows so I can see it. Otherwise, what's going on at the same time. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we're continuing with text 35. Text 34 described how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would refute the explanations of his guru and then establish the same explanation that he had just refuted. Sahasra Shishyapade Yatajana Heinakaro Shakti Nahi Divare Dushana. There were thousands of students, but no one had the ability to defeat his explanations. Wow. So the words Divare Dushana means to find fault or to refute. So you got to move another window around. Hold on. Okay, that window. Move this window here. Okay. Text 36. Dekyad Bhuta Buddhi Guru Harishita Sarva Shishya Shreshtakari Karila Pujita. Gangadas was pleased to see Nimai's wonderful intelligence, and he accepted him as his best student. The word pujita means to worship or to honor. Yatapare Gangadasa Panditera Stane Savare Takura Chalena Anukshane. The Lord would regularly challenge and defeat all of Gangadasa Pandit's other students. The word chalena means to induce, to move, to shake, to bewilder, to defeat, or to refute. Shri Murari Gupta, Shri Kamala Kantanama, Krishnananda Hariyata, Goshtira Pratana. Shri Murari Gupta, Shri Kamala Kanta, and Shri Krishna Nanda were some of the Lord's prominent classmates. Of course, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is going to explain this here. I think we're going to skip over this purport and I'll just explain. So, Murari Gupta composed the diary, and it's called this Kadacha, which I have a copy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes that he personally observed. It's a first-hand compilation. First-hand means he saw it, he wrote it. So it's not like someone said this to someone said this to someone said this to someone said this. It's the direct observer of what went on with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And you can actually contrast that with, all right, I guess I should do that, but this is not to criticize. With the Bible, there's no direct accounts. They're all accounts of what people heard that happened. Okay? Sabare chalaye prabhu pongi gnyakshya shishu gyane kehakichu nabole hasya. The Lord challenged and defeated them all, even the elder boys, but they would consider the Lord just a child and simply smile at him. It really hurt their egos. The little kid just defeated them. Oh my God. E mata pratidena paryashuniya ganga snane chale nija bayasya. After school, the Lord regularly went with his friends to bathe in the Ganges. Paduyaranta nahi navadvipa pure padya madhyane sabe ganga snana kare. In Navadvip there were innumerable students and they all took bath in the Ganges. At midday. At the time of the Lord there were many schools in Navadvip wherein innumerable students from various provinces studied the scriptures. The area of Navadvip at that time stretched northeast up to Dwipa Chandrapura. Eko adhyapakera sahasra shishagada anyonye kalaha karena anukshana. Each teacher had thousands of students, and they would regularly challenge the students of other teachers. Wow. Pratama Vyasa Prabhu Swabhava Chanchala Padya Ganera Saha Karena Kundala. As the Lord was young and restless, he would also go quarrel with the other students. The word Pratama Vyasa means in childhood or boyhood. You know, he was quite young. He just went to school for the first time. Keha bole Tora Guru Konburi Tara Keha bole Deka Amishisha Yara. Someone would challenge, your teacher is not very learned. Another would say, see whose disciple I am. E matal peyalpe haya galagali tabe jala pela pele tabe dea bali. In this way they would begin to quarrel with harsh words, and soon they would splash water and throw sand at each other. Sounds like an interesting argument. Tabe haya Mara Mari Ye Yahari Pare Kardama Pilia Karo Gaye Kea Mare. Eventually they would beat each other or throw mud at each other. Sounds like kids. Yeah, I experienced stuff like that when we were young. You know, your parents or this or that instead of teachers. Vajarada Haidia Keha Karadare Maria Palaya de Keha Gangara Upare. Some boy in the name of the king would catch another boy and someone would beat another and then swim across the Ganges to safety. The words Gangara Upare refer to the present-day city of Navadvip Kulia and the village of Ramachandrapura. Eta huda hudi kare paduya sakala bale karamaya sabha haya ganga jala. They wrestled so intensely that the waters of the Ganges became full of sand and mud. Prabhupada did say that wrestling is a Vaishnava sport. I remember years ago, oh my God, I hate to mention this, The GBC members would actually have a wrestling match. Nowadays we can't do it. We're all a little too old for that. And guess who would always win? Caitanya Bhagavat would always win because he was the heaviest. Whew. It was really intense wrestling matches. Jalabari pare nahi pare nari gana na pare karite snana brahmana sajana. In that situation, the girls were unable to fill their water pots, and the general brahmanas were unable to take their bath. I mean, it must have been with thousands of students. It must have been a real ruckus, a riot. Paramachanchila Prabhu, Vishwambaraya Mata Prabhu, Pratigate Gate Aya. Sri Vishwambara was the most restless. He went to each bathing ghat. Oh my God, what a troublemaker our Lord Chaitanya was. The word Pratigate refers to his own bathing ghat, Varakona Gata, Madai's Gata, Nagadhiya Gata, and other ghats. Ghat means a bathing place, like where they have steps leading down to the Ganges. That's what a ghat is, for those of you who don't know. Pratigate Padurara Anta Nahi Pai Takura Kalaha Kare Pratitani Tani. At each ghat there were innumerable students, and the Lord debated at every ghat. Pratigate Yaya Prabhu Gangaya Santari Ekogate Dvichare Danda Krida Kare. The Lord swam to each ghat and enjoyed debating there for 1 or 2 hours. So in other words, he didn't just walk from each ghat to another, he would swim. He was an expert swimmer. So a devotee should learn how to swim. Yata yata pramanika paduyara gana tarabole kalaha karaha ki karana. The senior students asked the boys, "Why are you arguing?" The word pramanika means knowledgeable, mature, principal, or expert. Gigasa karaha buji karakon puri ritipanji tikara kejane deki shuti. Let us see who can explain the proper forms of vritti, panji, and tika. Vritti is a brief explanation of the verse, tika is the expanded explanation of the verse, and panji is a poetic description of the subject. Previously, Kayastas used to write panji. On the Kalapa grammar composed by Sarva Varma, there is tika written by Shushena Vijabhushana, panji written by Sri Lochana Das, and a vritti written by Durga Singha that are very famous. Gangadas Pandit taught Kalapa grammar to his students headed by Nimai. The word Shuddhi means the pure form, the real truth, the purport, and the confidential truth. Prabhu Bole Bala Bala Ekata Haya Yigasuka Mare Yahara Chite Laya. The Lord replied, "Very good. Yes, good. You can ask me anything you like." Keha Bole Etakene Kara Ahankara Prabhu Bole Yasaha Ye Chite Tamara. One student asked him, "Why are you so conceited?" Ahankara means like false ego. And Nimai replied, "Ask me anything, whatever you like." Dhatu Sutra Vakanaha Bole Se Paduya Prabhu Bole Vakaniye Shunamana Diya. The same student then replied, or then said, "Explain the sutras on verbal roots." The Lord replied, "Listen attentively to what I say. Sarva Shakti Samandvita Prabhu Bhagavan Karilena Sutra Vyakya Yehaya Pramana. The all-powerful Supreme Lord Vishwambara then explained the sutras according to the prescribed grammatical rules. The word pramana means perfect evidence or faith. Interesting. This is such a nectarian section. I know I say that about everything. Vyakyas Shuni Save Bole Vasham Savachana Prabhu Bole Basyuna Kariye Kirandana. Hearing his explanation, everyone praised him. The Lord then said, "Now hear me refute those explanations," or these explanations. Yata Vyakya Kailata Dusila Sakala Prabhu Bole Stapa Ebe Kara Ache Balad. After the Lord refuted each of his explanations, he then asked, now who can reestablish those explanations? Chamatkara Sabe Bhavena Mane Mane Prabhu Bole Shunaebe Ariye Stapane. Everyone there was struck with wonder as Nimai said, now hear me reestablish those explanations. Punahena Vyakya Kadilena Gorachandra Sarvamate Sundara Katao Nahi Manda. Sri Gaurasundara then again established those explanations in such a wonderful way that no one could find any fault. The word manda means fault, excuse, or error. Yata Saba Pramanika Paduyara Gana Santoshe Sabe Kadilena Lingana. All the senior students then embraced Nimai in satisfaction. E Mata Pratidinha Janavira Jale Vaikuntha Nayaka Vidyavrase Kela Kele. In this way, the Lord of Vaikuntha enjoyed his pastimes as a student playing in the waters of the Ganges. Ekrida Lagya Sarvagya Brahaspati Shisha Saha Navadvipe Haila Utpati. To assist in his pastimes, the omniscient Brahaspati took birth in Navadvipa along with his disciples. Wow. Oh, I guess we could read. The word Sarvajña is another name for the original Vishnu Swami. He appeared at Chandana Vana Kalyanapura in the province of Panja. He is the first Vaishnavacharya in this age of Kali. He defeated the philosophy of Buddhism and brought Sri Jagannatha Deva to Sundarachala, which means Jagannath Puri. 300 years before Christ, a king named Vijay Panja appeared. After he conquered Sri Purushottama and brought Lord Jagannath to his own province, the Buddhists returned Lord Jagannath to Nilachala. A few hundred years later, during the reign of Sundara Panja, he was reminded of the place where Lord Jagannath was brought while going to conquer the northern provinces. That place, known as Sundarachala, later became known as the Gundicha. Shortly before this incident, a disciple of Shankaracharya named Padmapadacharya built a math at the place known as Chaturabhoga. Later on, this math was shifted to the shore of the ocean by Sri Ramanujacharya. There's a book named Sangshepa Sharirakya in the Shankara Sampradaya that is said to be written by Sarvagyatma Muni. But this Sarvagyatma Muni cannot be the Sarvagya Muni who established the philosophy of Shuddhadvaita. There's another Sarvagya in the Jain Sampradaya as well. In the disciplic succession of Sarvagya Muni, there were many disciples, including Brahaspati. Wow. Jalakrida Kari Prabhu Shishagana Sange Kshane Kshane Gangara Upare Yaya Range. While sporting in the Ganges, the Lord and his friends would sometimes swim to the other side. That's a long swim. And the current is really strong. So the words Gangara Upare refer to Kulia, or the present-day city of Navadvip. Now, Kuli is the place where the offenses of many offenders were forgiven by Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Bahu Manoratapurve Achila Gangara Yamunara Deki Krishna Chandera Vihara. Seeing the good fortune of the Yamuna in obtaining the association of Lord Krishna, the Ganges had cherished the desire for the same opportunity. Kabe Hai Bekamora Yamunara Bhagya Niravadi Ganga E Balilena Vakya. The Ganges constantly prayed, when will I be fortunate like the Yamuna? Yadyapiha Ganga Haja Bhavari Vandata Tatapiha Yamunara Parase Vanchita. Although the Ganges is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, she nevertheless still desires the good fortune of the Yamuna. Vanchakalpataru Prabhu Shigora Sundara Janavira Vanchapurna Kare Nirantara. Lord Gaurasundar is like a wish-fulfilling tree that constantly satisfies the desires of the Ganges. Karibahu Vida Krida Janavira Jale Grihe Lena Gaurachandra Kutuhale. After enjoying various pastimes in the waters of the Ganges, Sri Gaurachandra joyfully returned home. Yatavarikari Prabhu Shri Vishnu Pujana Tulasire Jaladiya Karena Bhojana. The Lord then worshipped Vishnu according to regulation, and after watering Tulasi, he took his meal. Bhojana Kariya Matra Prabhu Sekshane Pushtaka Yagya Vasena Nirjane. Immediately after taking his meal, the Lord took his books and sat in a solitary place. He was very studious. Apane Karena Prabhu Sutrara Tipane Pulila Pustaka Rase Savadeva Mani. The Lord, who is the crest jewel amongst the demigods, fully absorbed himself in his studies and composed his own commentary on the sutras. The words Sutrera Tipani refer to the commentary and the commentary of Caitanya Sutra composed by Sarvavarma. The phrase Sarvadeva Mani means the Lord of Lords. Dekyanande Vase Misha Mahashaya Ratridine Harishe Kichwina Janaya. Seeing his son studying attentively, Jagannath Mishra floated in an ocean of happiness and forgot whether it was day or night. Dekite, Jagannath Putra Mukha, Niti Niti Paya, Aniva, Chaniya Sukha. Every day Jagannath Mishra felt indescribable happiness on seeing the face of his Lord. The word Niti Niti means regularly or daily. Ye mate putrera rupa kare mishra pana sasire sayuja haila kibatada. Sri Mishra drank the nectarian beauty of his son's form in such a way that it appeared he had merged his body with the Lord. Let's see. All right. Skip over that purport. Sayuja vakon opari sukatane sayujari sukha mishra alpa karimane. Jagannath Mishra, however, considered the happiness of merging with the Lord to be most insignificant. The word kon means for what use. The word tane means to him or for him. So in other words, as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is explaining here, for a devotee, merging into the Lord is insignificant and nobody wants it. You can't actually merge into the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can think you do, but that's vimukta manina, which means just in your mind. Of a Shuddha Buddhya. That's actually a quotation in the Bhagavatam. You have impure intelligence. Jagannatha Mishra Paya Bahu Namaskara Nanta Brahmananda Nata Putra Rupe Yandra. I offer unlimited obeisances at the feet of Sri Jagannath Mishra, whose son was the Lord of innumerable universes. Emata Mishra Chandra Dekite Putrere Niravadi Vase Vipra Ananda Sagare. In this way, whenever he saw his son, Sri Mishra Chandra would float in an ocean of bliss. The word Mishra Chandra is the family name, surname, with Chandra added out of affection. So you got Mishra Chandra, he's the moon of the family, okay? Kamadeva Jiniya Prabhu Se Rupavan Pratyange Ange Se Lavanya Anupama. The beauty of the Lord surpassed that of Cupid. Each of his limbs was extraordinarily beautiful. Ihadeke Mishra Chandra Chintena Antare Dakini Danave Pache Putre Bala Kare. Seeing the beauty of his son, Jagannath Mishra thought, I am afraid that my son may be attacked by ghosts or demons. The word Dakini refers to a female follower of Rudra, a follower of Bhadrakali, a witch or a sorceress. Bhadrakali is not a witch or a sorceress, but her followers may be. The word Danava refers to the sons of Danu, the wife of Kashyapa Muni and daughter of Prajapati Daksha. The words Balakare means to overpower or to influence. Maye Mishra Putre Samarpaye Krishna Stane Hase Prabhu Gaurachandra Are Taki Shade. Out of fear, Shri Mishra surrendered his son at the lotus feet of Krishna as Gaurachandra smiled while watching from a secluded place. The word Ade is a corruption of the word Antarale, which means from behind. Mishra Bole Krishna Tumi Rashita Sapara Putra Prati Shubhadrishti Hariba Amara. Okay. Jagannath Mishra prayed, "O Krishna, you are the protector of all. Please glance mercifully on my son." So, commentary, the word Rakshita means the protector or the deliverer. Ye tumara charana kamala smriti kare. Kabu vigna na aise tahana mandire. Tumara smarana hina ye papastana. Tataya dakina bhuta preta adhishtana. Whoever remembers your lotus feet will never face any disturbances at home. Those sinful places where you are not remembered are the residences of ghosts, witches, and evil spirits. So, this is interesting. Places where forgetfulness of Vishnu is prominent are known as sinful places. Such places are inhabited by abominable species like ghosts, witches, and evil spirits. The devotees of the Lord are demigods because the devotees always remember the Lord. Wherever they reside is known as a sacred place. Let's see, this is, okay, quite a long purport, so we're going to skip that. Yes, a devotee, wherever a devotee is a tirtha. Yatra Shravana Dini Raksho Gnani Swakarmasu Kurvanti Sattvatam Bhartur Yatu Dhanyascha Tatrahi. My dear king, wherever people in any position perform their occupational duties of devotional service by chanting and hearing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, there cannot be any danger from bad elements. Therefore, there was no need for anxiety about Gokul while the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally present. So this is actually a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, describing when Maharaj Parikshit heard that the fearful child Gilaputana wandered through various villages, killing children on the order of Kamsa. He was full of anxiety for Krishna. At that time, Srila Shukadeva Goswami spoke this verse in order to relieve the king's anxiety. So there's also a long purport, so we're going to continue with our narration of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Ami Tora Dasa Prabhu Yateka Mara Rakiba Apane Tume Sakala Tumara. Oh my Lord, I'm your servant. Everything I possess belongs to you, so please preserve it. Ataviyata Che Vignava Hangata Nasuka Kabumora Putrera Nikata. Therefore, do not allow any obstacle or danger disturb my son. So, Jagannath Mishra is praying like this. The word Sankata means misery or trouble. Emata Nirvari Mishra Jagannatha Et Ka Chite Varamage Tuli Dwi Hata. In this way, with folded hands and fixed concentration, Jagannath Mishra constantly begged for the Lord's mercy. Daive Ekadina Swapne Deki Mishra Vara Arishe Vishada Bada Haila Antara. Then one day Jagannath Mishra unexpectedly had a dream that filled his heart simultaneously with happiness and lamentation. Swapna Deki Stavapadi Dandavat Kare Hey Govinda Nimani Rahuka Mora Kare. After the dream, he offered his obeisances and prayed, "O Lord Govinda, let Nimai stay at home." Sabe Evara Krishna Magi Tora Tani Grahasta Hai Kare Rahuka Nimani. O Krishna, this is the only benediction I ask of you. Let Nimai stay at home as a householder. It's interesting. Sachid Yinyasya Madahaya Vismita E Sakala Vada Kane Maga Achambita. Astonished, Sachi inquired, "Why are you suddenly asking for these benedictions?" The word achambita comes from the Sanskrit word asambhavata, which means suddenly. Mishra bole, ajimui dekilun swapana, nimani kara cheyena shikari mundana. Jagannath Mishra replied, "Today I dreamt that Nimai had shaved his head." Ooh. And the Ekadandi sannyasis burn their sacred threads in the sacrificial fire and shave off their shikas. This was the practice at that time of those sannyasis who imitated the Buddhist monks. Oh, that's why they did that. Vedic sannyasis, however, have always accepted the tridanda and kept their shikas. Although the Ekadandi sannyasis follow Buddhist tradition by giving up their shika and sacred thread, they still generally call themselves Vedic sannyasis. There's no necessity for Paramahamsas to wear saffron cloth and keep their shikas or sacred threads. But Kuti-chak sannyasis are prohibited from accepting the dress of Paramahamsas. That means, Kuti-chak means those who go and do Madhukari. Okay, Madhukari means you go from home to home and you ask for one roti in each house. It's Madhukari means like a bumblebee going from flower to flower. During the manifest pastimes of Srimad Mahaprabhu, the Ekadandi sannyasis who followed Shankaracharya were prominent in North India. The ordinary people of that time accepted that shaving one's shika was a symptom of the sannyas order. So in other words, that became prominent. A little bit of history there, which is interesting to know. That became prominent because of the influence of the Buddhists. Otherwise, it wasn't there before Buddhism. That's very interesting. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a repository of knowledge. He's a walking encyclopedia, according to Srila Prabhupada. Adbhuta sannyasi vesha kahane nayaya hase nache khande Krishna bali saradaya. I'm unable to describe how wonderfully he looked dressed as a sannyasi. He laughed, danced, and cried while constantly chanting the name of Krishna. Advaita charya ariyata bhakta gana nimani vidya sabe karena kirtana. Headed by Advaita Charya, the devotees performed kirtan as they circumambulated Nimai. So this is a dream he had of Lord Chaitanya taking sannyas. Kakhano nimani vaise vishnura kathaya ksharanatuliya deha sabaramataya. The next moment I saw Nimai sitting on Vishnu's Singasana and placing his feet on the heads of the devotees. So he's having a premonition of what was going to happen in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Chaturmukha Panchamukha Sahasravadana Sabe Gayena Jai Shri Sachinandana. Brahma, Shiva, Ananta Shesh, everyone chanted Jaya Sachinandana. The word Chaturmukha refers to Lord Brahma, the word Panchamukha refers to Lord Shiva, and the word Sahasravadana refers to Sri Shesha or Ananta Shesh. Mahanandi Chaturdike Sabe Stuti Kare Dekiyamara Baye Vakya Nahi Spure. As I watched devotees in all directions offering prayers in great ecstasy, I became speechless out of fear. Katakshane Deki Koti Koti Lokalaya Nimai Bulena Prati Nagare Nachia. Shortly thereafter, I saw Nimai dancing through the streets of Navadweep surrounded by millions of people. Laksha Koti Loka Nimanira Pachadaya Brahmananda Sparshya Sabe Hari Dwani Gaya. As those innumerable people followed Nimai, the sound of their chanting the names of Hari pierced the coverings of the universe. Chaturdike Shunimatra Nimanira Stuti Ilachilayaya Sarvabhaktera Sanghati. The only sound I heard were the prayers that were being offered to Nimai from all sides as they traveled on the path to Nilachala. E Swapnadeki Chintapana Saravaktaya Viraktahaya Pacheputra Bahiraya. After seeing this dream, I became filled with anxiety. that Nimai will leave home and take sannyas. The word virakta means detached and renounce, and the word lahiraya means to go out, leave home, or take sannyas. Sachi bole, swapna tumi dekila goshani, chintana kriya gare, raiva nimani. Sachi then said, although you had such a dream, don't worry, Nimai will certainly remain at home. In this verse, the word Goswami refers to the Vaishnava husband of Shachi or son of an Aryan. Well, sometimes, yeah, it's a fact. Sometimes the wives would call their husband Swami, which means, master. Anyway, pretty ecstatic. Wow, I can't wait to hear what happens in the future. Okay, so we're going to stop sharing. And one announcement as we are stopping our sharing. And this announcement will be made before you can ask any questions. Let me just move a few of these things around. Okay, so the announcement is tomorrow we will not have a class because we have a Rath Yatra, and this Rath Yatra is part of the Christmas parade, which will take part in a major city near here named Cary. And during this Christmas parade, we're going to have Lord Jagannathan, of course, in the cart. And we're also going to have, in the back of the cart, there's going to be a pickup truck. And our band, including good old me, or old me at least, is going to be chanting Hare Krishna. What else are we going to chant? And so this is going to be a very exciting part of Rath Yatra. You have good amplification. We have a lead guitar player. We have a bass guitar player. We probably have a good drummer. And the truck will be decorated and will be in back of the cart. And this way, so many people will be able to hear the holy name chanted in more or less modern tune. So I'm very excited about that. So bless us all. So we're asking you all to bless us. And tomorrow evening, that will be the program. Of course, uh, it's going to be a little earlier than our normal class time, but we're going to, hopefully, someone's going to video it and we're going to be able to put it up. So tomorrow, there's no class, but the next day, there will be a class and will be combined with a Sunday feast class. Okay, so on that happy note, who has a question or a comment or a problem? You can either, raise your hand. The yes. Okay, unmute yourself and ask a question.
Krishna Gurudev, it's a big
Good to
pleasure of
see
mine.
you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. It's a big pleasure of mine to be in the Zoom meeting live, uh, and not seeing it on YouTube because back then I always used to see it. I always used to see your live streams when they were posted on YouTube. So it's a big pleasure to be on Zoom. Please accept.
Yeah, it's good to see
Please
you.
accept. Yeah. Please accept my obeisances. So my question is, so this one is about the Parampara system. So it's mainly based on Bhaktivinoda Thakur. How did how did he came in contact with his disciple Guru Kshizora Dasa Babaji Maharaj?
Which Maharaj are you talking about?
Uh, how did Bhaktivinoda Thakur came in contact with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's spiritual master Guru Kshizora Dasa Babaji Maharaj?
Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj.
Yeah.
Okay, how did Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur get in touch with Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj?
Oh no, not Bhaktisiddhanta Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
How did Bhaktivinoda Thakur get in touch with Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj?
Yes.
They were he knew about all these great Vaishnavas, and he also had association with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Siksha Guru, and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was associated with Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. I mean, they were all connected to each other. Bhagavat Das Babaji Maharaj and Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, they all knew each other, and that's how they got connected. I mean,
Uh,
it was like a group, like everybody in ISKCON. For example, most of the well, at least I know most of the senior devotees in ISKCON. You know, at least I know all the Babajis. There's no Babajis, but at least I don't know all the sannyasis. That's true, but I know all the senior sannyasis in ISKCON. So you know, I may say, you know, you should meet my dear god brother Guru Prasad Swami, for example. And so they, you know, these Babajis had association. They lived in Navadweep, they lived in Brajamando, and they associated with each other. All right. Okay, good question. Okay, who else wants to ask a question? Let's give someone else an opportunity. You can unmute yourself, you can type in the chat window, or you can raise your hand and then I will call on you. Well, oh, Goralila and Sarva City. Okay,
Hare Krishna
oh,
Gurudev, accept our humble obeisances.
so my blessings. So, what's the question?
Gurudev, it's so nice to hear all these wonderful pastimes of Nimai. So I was wondering if there is a planet for Nimai as well, because every time I heard Nimai's pastimes, I would also remember Damodar Bhagwan's pastimes.
Yeah,
So
so
that was
yeah, so is there a planet for Lord Chaitanya? Yes. If you go to Goloka Brindavan, there is one part of Goloka Brindavan that's Goramanda, which is Navadweep or Navadweep area, where Nimai is there executing his pastimes. So
Haribo.
you got a section for which is actually where Braj, you know, the Brindavan area, and then you have a section that's this Nimai's or Lord Chaitanya's area. And the interesting thing is, the devotees who were devotees of both Lord Chaitanya and Krishna get to go to be in both places when they go back to the spiritual world. Notice I said go back to the spiritual world because we were there before. So anyway, so they get to be in both places. Isn't that
Haribo.
cool?
That is cool. And we spoiled for choice, it seems like.
Yeah. So all your desires will be fulfilled.
Haribol. Thank you, Gurudev.
All right, good question. So let's hear from someone else, or either hear or message or something from someone else. Oh, no, no one else has it. Oh, there's a question here. Oh, yeah, we'd love to see a video of Rath Yatra. We have a big one in Auckland next Sunday. What we've done here is that our Rath Yatras are all part of a parade, a normal parade. So we got more exposure for less money. Get our money's worth. So it's actually very intelligent because then we got literally perhaps hundreds of thousands, not millions of people will see tomorrow's parade. We'll see the Hare Krishna chanting. And we are right in front of Santa Claus. They put us at the end.
That's
Right
that's
in front.
good, Gurudev. We
Right.
we had a few Rath Yatra where it was part of Santa Parade,
Yeah.
but the next Sunday one is we've got Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra on their own. We've got full attention in the city, so
Okay.
that that will be awesome.
That's good. Yeah. That's very good. Good luck. And so we're going to be right in front of Santa Claus. And actually, we're the real Santas or Shantas. Shantak Saraiva Yeshu Vilokiyanti Yam Shaima Shundara Chichik Gunasurupam Govindamadi Purisham Tamaham Bhajami. Okay, gotta end. So good to see everybody. All glorious to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.